Hello, everybody, and welcome back to I've Got Next. This is the third installment. We have Brooke Duran, and ladies and gentlemen, she is busy.
Yes.
So, not only does she have a 9 to 5, but she has a popular clothing brand that I've seen in Atlanta. I just didn't know where to get it, called Good Trouble.
Mhm.
She owns two other companies, which we'll touch on later, but she does so many things. Um, your about is extremely long. Um, Graduating, all this other stuff. So let's just get into it. Tell us a little bit about yourself, Brooke.
Sure. So again, I am Brooke Devon. I am a graduate of North Carolina A&T State University, Aggie Pride. One time for my Aggies. And outside of that, I am a serial entrepreneur, as you have just mentioned. So I do quite a lot. And for starters, like you mentioned, I have my clothing line. It's actually called Brooke Duran, which is obviously stuff named after me. But our flagship product is our Good Trouble shirts, which I have on one of them now. Good Trouble.
Okay.
And outside of Good Trouble, we also have Good People. We have Dear God, Thank You. And I also have my Athleisure Looks line as well, where we focus on um, track suits and just comfort, leisure wear. Um, Outside of the apparel, I also own my own wrapping paper company called Rappers Delight Official. I'm sorry, called Rappers Delight. Our Instagram is Rappers Delight Official.
Okay.
But basically, our focus there is on the culture, basically highlighting um, the culture, Black people, Black Santa Claus, Mrs. Claus, so we can kind of close the gap in that lack of, when we go out to the stores and shopping for gift wrap, birthday paper, things like that. We want to see ourselves represented more. So that's what the goal is with Rappers Delight Official.
Okay. Now, I'm going to ask this throughout, but where can we find these things? Because again, I live in Atlanta,
Yes.
seeing the Good Trouble, and I didn't know where to get it. And then you said, Dear God, thank you. I've seen those too.
Mm-hmm.
So where
Yes.
can we buy those at?
So I live in North Carolina, and we do have our items in a local restaurant called Ben's Boys. But outside of that, you can shop online. So my website is www.brookederon.com, and that's BROOKEDERON.com, and that's where you can shop all of our apparel. For
Okay.
the gift wrap, that would be www.rappersdelight.shop, and that's rappers with a W.
Got you. Got you. Got you. Got you. Okay. First question. When do you get to sleep?
You know, I will say I have gotten much better at this. So,
Okay.
I get my sleep in. I get my 8 hours
Okay. Okay.
until peak season comes around. Then it becomes a struggle. So around the holidays, oh yeah, it's hard. But I'm hoping to have a better grasp on that this year.
Okay. So let's just start from the beginning. How did it get started? Let's talk about the entrepreneurial spirit. And then
Woo!
let's talk about Good Trouble, Rappers Delight. How because I learned so much about you in the last 24 hours.
Yeah.
I want everybody else to know. They didn't get to see what I got to see. So tell us a little bit about that.
Okay. So let's start with the fashion line, right? So I've loved fashion from a little girl, and it's just always been a passion. It just has always come naturally for me when it comes to clothes. Like it just lights me up. So I've always wanted to have my own fashion line, but I didn't really see it coming when it presented itself with my current line. I was inspired during the Black Lives Matter movement, and it basically started with some shirts that said "Don't assume." And basically, what that was saying was, don't assume just because I'm Black that I'm going to hurt you. Don't assume I have a gun. Don't assume, I'm less than. Don't treat me like an animal, that kind of thing. So that was the statement with that. And I also had one that said human, which was, don't treat me as anything less than a human. I am what I am. There is one race that is most important, and that is the human race. And we all have that in common. So that was the statement with those. So those did so well. And they're actually still available on the website, brookduran.com. Go get you one. But outside of that, I was very inspired by Mr. John Lewis as well when it came to the saying good trouble. He made it famous by saying, if you're going to get in trouble, make it good trouble, necessary trouble, right? So that's exactly what I wanted to put out there when it came to messages of positivity, and just bringing awareness to the confidence that we as a people should have. So I guess that's the apparel. Now let's move on to the gift wrap. Right. So with the gift wrap, that came out of nowhere, because even now it's unbelievable to me to know that I am in the stationery business. It's like, what, Brooke? Where did this come from? And really, it came to me in the middle of the night. I was asleep and I woke up suddenly with this dream of a black Santa wrapping paper. And I lie to you not, it all came together in the matter of 24 hours. I sat straight up in the bed after I woke up from that dream, and the name was there, the name of the business, Rapper's Delight, and I immediately went and searched for the domain. I had the domain name in probably 5 or 10 minutes after the idea came to my head. And then the next day, I don't know where to start. So I just start doing research, and I researched manufacturers and how to print wrapping paper and all of those things. And it really just all came together. And, one of the things that the year 2020 made me realize was, that's when COVID hit and shook the world. And I was like, what is God trying to tell us? Like, our time is really limited here. Not that we needed COVID to remind us of that, but it really, really it lit a fire under me to really not hesitate anymore on pursuing my dreams and things that come to mind. Like, to me, 2020 was the year of clear vision, right? And I just took it as God's year of telling us, like, get your stuff together. Whatever it is that you want to do, you need to go on and do it, and stop procrastinating. And that's what I did. So I'm no longer second guessing. I'm not a second guesser anymore. I launched the clothing line. I launched the wrapping paper business, and it's been fast paced ever since. I mean, they both took off real fast. I did not expect success as fast as I got it. And again, I just give all credit to God, because I mean, I feel like I listen to his voice, and that's why everything is working the way it is working.
Okay.
So I'm sorry that was a little long-winded, but
no. See, this is the thing. You touched on some things I want to ask you a little bit more about. How much research did you do on both?
To tell you the truth, I didn't do enough. I'm learning even now, because I launched so fast. I didn't talk to anybody. I didn't ask any experts. I just asked Google and YouTube University. Mm-hmm. That's how I was able to figure all of this stuff out, and I prayed about it. And, I just taught myself the things I needed to know, and it's still so many things that I do not know. And in hindsight, the things that I have learned are things that I wish I knew sooner.
Got you. How did you get Good Trouble?
Good Trouble came to me, from I was watching a speech. I was watching John Lewis's speech, and he mentioned Good Trouble. Now, mind you, he passed away in 2020, if I'm not mistaken, but I had this idea before he passed away, and I was like, oh my God, I should have came out with this like right away. And it wasn't 2020 yet. It was like maybe 2019 that I thought about this, and I heard this, and I was like, you know what? I should put that on a shirt. And when he passed, it was like, Brooke, you gotta keep the message alive, keep it going, remind people how important this message was. So that's how I came up with Good Trouble, just through inspiration from Mr. John Lewis.
Okay. How do you balance a 9 to 5 and entrepreneurship?
It is not easy. You know, you really have to learn how to prioritize. Prioritization is key. And also setting a schedule. And I will say, because I am so busy, a lot of times I might have a schedule outside of my 9 to 5, but when I say schedule, I mean, okay, bro, you get home at 5:30, and from 5:30, well, from 6 to 9 or 6 to 10, this is what you're going to be doing. But I cannot lie. Sometimes I go over that. So it's still a work in progress, because there is so much to handle and not enough hands. I'm at the point now where I really want to build a team of people to help facilitate some of the tasks that I have. Thankfully, I have my husband, who's my partner in these businesses, and we work well together in getting things done. But it's still so much more that we could be getting done if we had a team. So that's our next step, is to start hiring people and helping us to get things done much quicker and more efficiently than we are currently.
So that was one of my questions. So your team right now is just you and your husband, correct?
Me and my husband, yes.
Do you ever hire anybody during peak season, or it's just strictly you and your husband?
It's just strictly me and my husband, with like during homecoming seasons, A&T homecoming, Central homecoming, things like that. We do get help from our family members when we vend and things like that. And I will say I did recently get someone to help me with social media. So now I have a social media person that basically manages the Rapper's Delight page and Shop Brooke Deron page as well. So, we're getting there. But there's a lot more research that I need to do myself to understand the right people that I need to have on my team.
Okay. Real quick, are these your first two cracks at business, or did you do anything before this?
These are my first two
Okay.
businesses.
Okay, perfect. How long have you been in business?
I've been in business since, for Brooke Deron, it started off as a blog, a fashion blog, and I started that in 2018. And then, I kind of always knew eventually, Brooke, you'll get into, selling things on your site, but that didn't come until 2020 when I actually started selling merchandise.
Gotcha.
But I was always offering fashion advice and, outfit of the day and things like that. If you check out my social media page, you'll see I have a blog there on Instagram where, I'm showing women how to shop frugal and maximize their closets and how to restyle things and, just think outside the box when it comes to your wardrobe. And that too is another area of the business as well, when it comes to branding and brand partnerships and things like that. So I'm wearing a lot of hats.
So you've been in business since 2018, and then
2018.
everything started. So that's like what, 4 years? Do you have an I almost quit story?
A what? And I almost quit. No.
You don't? Okay.
I don't, but I say that because I love what I'm doing. It's like a passion, and I'm not here to say it's easy, because it's definitely not easy, but I'm just so, like, I have tunnel vision right now, and I'm like focused on really growing this business, and I'm thinking about my children and the legacy that I'm building for them. So it's really hard for me to just say, what, I quit. Yeah, I can't. I don't have that in me. to quit.